What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls pregame right around the corner. Bulls in Minnesota taking on the T-Wolves tonight on the eve of the NBA's in-season trade deadline. Lots to talk about coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Pregame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Day. Bam! BAWL Sports. Sitting, keeping the chair warm for the GOAT and the Uncle Will. Does an excellent job covering our beloved Bulls for the Bigs. Follow him at Drew_H_Stevens. Follow them at It's the Bigs. Give it up for our friend Drew Stevens. What up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all too, man.
Good to see you.
We needed another brain in that seat, bro.
Oh, truly.
I mean,
Queen of the Controls, Katie, with us as well, of course. What's up, Katie?
I know.
Happy National Women in Sports Day.
I was going to get there if you were. Shout out to you. So how are you keeping Goat in check over there at the Madhouse? We always like it when you pop into the background when he does his podcast.
I think Will and I, we cry on each other's shoulders, man. That's more what it is. That's more what it is. You know, just a shoulder to lean on, man. These trying times. You know, we got T-minus however many more hours until this trade deadline.
Less than 24.
Yeah, man.
Less than 20, actually. My goodness.
We got to come together as a community, man. It's important. It's important. We have no idea what's about to happen.
We don't.
We can fear the worst.
We can. And we do.
Yeah. Oh, boy, howdy do we.
Yeah.
Well, so, you know, the second night of a back-to-back for the Bulls, obviously, Matas was the big story. You know, 30-plus minutes off the bench, career-high 24 points, 10 of 10. I do want to get your thoughts because you had some interesting stuff as far as what Billy had to say about Matas last night. But before that, as we transition now, game 2, post-Zach LaVine era.
Yeah.
It's the Buzelis era. Let's call it that. That's what I'm going with. Buzel era.
Buzel era?
Yeah.
Yeah, take a second to drink that one in, y'all. Drink that one in.
Did I just discover something?
Shout out to you, Matt Peck. Well done.
Print the T-shirts.
Not as good as Boozy Badass.
I
well
do
done.
want to get your thoughts, Drew, on what has gone down in the crazy trade frenzy week, starting with the Zach to the Kings deal.
So I am a little salty about that deal.
Okay.
I was of the mind that the Bulls probably should have waited until the summertime to look to trade Zach just because of the options that would be there for them. I thought that because of the way he'd been playing, his track record, they could have afforded to wait to see what was available in the summertime and not be at risk of him, losing some of his effectiveness, his efficiency. Like we know the type of player that he is. So let him go into the offseason, one less year on his deal. Other teams have a little more flexibility in what they can do. Maybe they come to grips with their own rosters and look at him like, man, we could really use that scoring. And we have maybe the defense that can help kind of supplement his weaknesses. The fact that they essentially traded Zach LaVine just to get their own pick back, I think that should be a fireable offense. It turns out that it probably is not going to be a fireable offense.
Well, no, because they work for the Dwarfs.
So I'm really salty about that. I think that if they continue selling off pieces, they will have essentially accomplished what they wanted to do by getting this pick back, by not being so good the rest of this season.
Right.
Next season, potentially the season after that. Right. So then at the end of the day, it's like, what is this all for? So I was not at all thrilled with the trade. I know we were going into it thinking that it was going to underwhelm us anyway.
For sure.
But it still went several notches under that for me, unfortunately. I think that the reports that we're hearing about Golden State and Nikola Vucevic and the Bulls potentially not want to come off this first-round price tag they have for him.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State kind of wavering, going from, Jimmy Butler to Kevin Durant, back to Jimmy Butler, potentially back to Nikola Vucevic, and the Bulls maybe not wanting to come off that pick.
Yeah.
I think you have to. You're not in a position where you can be choosy at this point. The Bulls are beggars in this situation.
Yes.
And we saw Nikola Vucevic shoot the ball incredibly well until the start of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think his value is ever going to be this high again. I don't care that his contract is expiring next season. I think he's worth more to another team now than he's going to be in the offseason. So you have to make that deal. I think Zoe as well needs to be dealt. This talk of re-signing him sounds great. It's a heartwarming story. But you can't press your luck if you're AK, if you're this Bulls organization. Yes. You have to do this thing right. You can't just try to go back to the middle and try to work your way back up. You need to just go ahead and rip this thing down, do it the right way, try to actually build a team that people can feel good about. And it's not just about Matas Buzelis and the hope that he brings. Like, there needs to be more for fans to get excited about. Unfortunately, right now, we're in limbo. We don't know what's going to happen. I have my fears.
Yeah.
I think that
you're in the same place.
A lot of people, I appreciate this, man. I really do.
Yes, sir.
I really do. I feel like a lot of people are assuming that they're going to rebuild because they traded Zach LaVine, that they're going to gut this roster because they traded Zach LaVine. My worry is that they see it a different way, that these assets that they got back, meaning their own picks, their own picks. Yes. I have a worry that they're just going to use these picks to try to go get another star that they see, but not the star that's actually going to be the star that lifts them from this treadmill that they've been on the last 3 years. That really worries me.
Let me ask you, do you think, with that logic, do you think they are looking to push their own pick that they got like now, or do you think they're waiting to see what position they are in the draft and then maybe go after somebody like that?
I would like to think at least they would wait to see where they wind up before they do anything rash. Yeah. But again, we don't really know what we think the front office should do and what they end up doing is two different things a lot of times. So your guess is as good as mine on that one.
And it ain't a good one.
I mean, personally, I hope AK has 8 phones in front of him right now and simultaneously using all of them. I don't believe it, but that's what I want.
I don't think he owns 8 phones.
To imagine happening. In happier news, this is non-trade related, but there is some good news, Bulls Nation.
Okay.
Bulls starting lineup just dropped.
Uh-oh, you about to say it, ain't you?
Matas Buzelis is starting tonight.
The Bulls are
freaking go!
Wow, baby! Yeah! We did it, Joe!
Wait. Was that the first happy hat toss?
No, they're rare. They don't happen often.
Okay.
Not in history.
Yeah, no. They definitely are rare. So appreciate it when you see it.
Absolutely.
Yes, man. It's like a comment.
I think I had a happy Matas related hat toss last night.
He did. Yeah. You did, man. Yeah.
He played 30 minutes. He scored 24 points.
He didn't miss. He didn't miss a shot.
It's funny, Dave, before you got here, Drew and I were talking about this very thing. With Lonzo Ball sitting tonight, as previously scheduled, second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Dalen Terry tried to give it a go in warm-ups. Still didn't feel great, so he was a late scratch. THT still out. This, traded away Zach. The guys who arrived via trade are not cleared to play yet. Some of them might not be here tomorrow night.
Okay.
So Drew and I were like, so who takes Lonzo's starting spot?
Yeah.
Because your options, if you're Billy, literally are like Matas, begrudgingly putting back Patrick Williams into the starting lineup where he will not have a pulse because that's how science works.
I don't like it here.
Julian Phillips.
Yeah.
Or like Javon Carter.
Yes.
Like those are Billy's options for your 5th starter tonight. And I'm like, hey, Matas certainly looked like the best one, right?
He looks the part, don't he?
Yeah.
Then play him. Put him in the game. I hate that it had to come to this for him to actually get into the starting lineup, but he's there. He's in. We're very happy. We are going to celebrate this. Again, this is just another step for him in his career. Like, okay, great. We know you can play. We got that part. Okay, great. We know you can flash. We got that part yesterday. Okay, let's see if you could do it in the starting lineup. Because I think after that, if he does it, let's see what you can do when teams are preparing for you. Mm-hmm. And teams are actually looking at you. So, and making defenses for you. Yep. So that's what I'm interested to see as well. Billy Donovan also said something yesterday that he wanted to see Matas more in a pick and roll. He wanted to get more pick and rolls for him in this game because he saw that play when Matas got it, and he saw that double team come, and he went baseline for that layup, which was just brilliant basketball IQ with the athleticism. It was great stuff. So I'm interested to see if Billy keeps his word on that and gives this young man the ball and actually lets him do his thing. But yes, this is exciting. I'm happy about it. It takes away. It's like some Tylenol. You know what I mean? It's not, healing anything, but it removes some of the pain from my knee that's going on just at least for a couple hours.
Well, let me flex for our guy, Drew Stevens. You mentioned, the commentary on Matas and ball handling. Drew reported that yesterday. Do you have that quote from Drew, Katie, if you would, please? Because I thought this was fascinating. Our guy, Drew, right here, Billy Donovan, said the next iteration of Matas Buzelis' game is growing more comfortable handling the ball, pick and rolls. I don't think I've put him in those situations enough.
Ever.
And I'm curious what you saw watching Matas have more on-ball opportunities last night, Drew, because, we saw him in a slip screen that ended in a Matas dunk. We saw him doing some DHO stuff with Vooch. We saw him go baseline on both sides of the court, taking his guy off the dribble. Yes, I think most Bulls fans, the handle is still a little raw. Could use some refinement, but that tends to be the case when somebody's Matas' size. Yeah. But the handles sure looked pretty darn good when he was picking different lanes to make his way to the basket last night.
They really did. I think, simply put, number one, that's the reason why you want to watch Bulls basketball is for this kid to get more opportunities to shine, more room to grow. We obviously knew coming into this season that he's athletic. He has the ability to put the ball on the deck. We saw that in Summer League. You guys saw it personally. But I saw a guy that he looks more comfortable. Yeah. And I think that just has come with the more minutes that he's getting, the way that Billy Donovan is kind of letting go of the leash a little bit, letting him get out there and experiment a little bit more. Obviously, Zach not being there, that takes away one of your shot creators. So somebody has to be able to do it. And considering that they really don't have another wing who has that kind of confidence to put the ball on the ground, that instills confidence in their teammates that they're actually going to do something with it productively.
That's a shot, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, you said it, not me. No, but it's just fun, man. Matas is the hope for this team right now, man. It's coming into the season. It was him and Lonzo in terms of the things I was most looking forward to seeing. No shot at Zach. Zach is fun to watch as well, but of course. We knew that Zach at some point was not going to be on this team. Sure. So now it's just, like you said, it's Matas ball, man. What can this kid do? What mistakes is he going to be continue to play through? Tonight we learned that he's starting. How does he look starting? It's a great point that you brought up about how he transitions once teams start putting him on the scouting report. I don't think it's going to happen yet.
No, not yet.
But it will be interesting to see how that works. Because we saw Ayo kind of go through a struggling season with that.
Exactly what my brain was.
That'll be the next thing that we see happen with Matas later on this season, if not next season.
Yeah, so, you just want to see how he handles adversity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In any form, it's going to come at him when the team recognizes in game, says, hey, let's switch defenders on him. Hey, let's double team him. Let's see how he handles that adversity. And that's what putting him in the starting lineup will do. It'll get a better chance to get us a better look through that lens for him. I think he'll handle it fine. That's what I believe because, damn, that dude is good. And, yeah, I think if he doesn't succeed, he won't leave the gym until he figures it out. He won't leave the video room until he figures it out. So, yeah, I have all the confidence in the world, man. But, yeah, I want to see what it looks like.
And I'm not a big Josh Giddey fan, just because of it's more so just because of what I think he forces you to do in terms of your team building, who you have to have on your team, the type of players you have to have on your team. But with him playing with Matas, I think he will make Matas better because
he's in my brain.
When you're playing with Giddey, you know that Giddey's unselfish. He's going to dish the ball. That's going to inspire Matas to cut, to always be looking for the ball, to keep moving without the ball. So, in that regard, it's a plus to see him in that starting lineup with Josh and see what happens tonight with it.
Yeah, some of the creative passing of Giddey is can open up different previously unexplored
it's a great
offensive lanes in the
alley-oop from
DeMar ISO era, and that Billy talking about ball handling and on-ball scenarios, whether they be pick and roll, DHOs, that kind of stuff with Matas is the next step because we've already seen in his limited minutes as far as figuring out when and where to be off ball. he clearly has a knack for that.
Yeah.
It's like we've seen Matas make more competent off-ball cuts in 14 NBA career minutes than Patrick Williams has in 4 years. Like, so the next step, the logical progression, put the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hard to be better than that at Pat next because
the bar's low.
You're not going to dribble it off your foot every time.
Yeah. No, the bar's low.
It is. I think somebody mentioned it in the comments, even especially fascinating tonight with Matas being put in the starting lineup, the matchup, because here's that Wolves starting five. You got Conley and Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, and Dave's favorite player, Naz Reid.
Naz Reid.
That's a lot of size and a lot of length.
Yeah.
Like if Billy with like Javon rolled another 4-yard line out there, like there may have been riots in the streets. So Matas has size. We have seen him get a little bit roughed up and bullied with some of the more muscular bigs that he's had to go up against in his limited minutes. But I mean, what can you see being a feel good about it win for Matas tonight, knowing that that's the length and size he's going up against?
Oh man, double-digit points, probably 5 or 6 rebounds. I'll take, and staying and not fouling out. I think that would be really huge. Like he might. I think they're gonna attack him for sure, as you would a rookie.
He's flirted with foul trouble in a couple of these games where his minutes have gone up.
Yeah, he's gonna get involved in some switches where he's gonna be on Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards is gonna cook. So I just want to see how he handles that, because I don't think teams understand how good his footwork is defensively and how he stays on the floor, but he still can block your shot and still alter your shot. Like his timing is really, really good when he's doing those things. So I'm interested to see that. Like if he can stay out of foul trouble, get double-digit points, 5, 6 rebounds, man, and a highlight dunk would be cool too, because what you said about Giddey is what I've been saying for a while. Like you see the chemistry that those two kind of have because they do what each other likes pretty much. Like, hey, I like passing to people who want to run and dunk. Hey, I like receiving the ball from people who are looking for me running down the floor. So they fit each other pretty well. But yeah, I want to see that. I want to most of all see him just stay out of foul trouble.
I'm glad you said that, because that's one of the things that ultimately like hitting my brain as well. Like just being competitive. We know he's going to do that. Staying out of foul trouble, like you said, playing straight up, challenging shots at the same time. But also, when he has the ball, how does he attack those guys? Does he go to their chest? Does he try to go through their chest? Does he, maybe get to maybe a step back game where he's trying to create some space for himself? But just those same things, man. I think that he's the type of player that no matter who is across from him, he's going to play the same way. He mentioned it last night when we asked him about, is this a breakout game? Is this a coming out party of sorts? And he said, you guys can call it what you want. I'm going to play this way every night. Meaning his motor, like you just love to hear that. Like it's just so Chicago, man.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
It's just so Chicago.
Yes. Oh my God.
Speaking of which, Adam in the comments just asked for Matas. The first time we're going to hear him in the starting lineup intros. Adam said, "Is it from Chicago or from Chicagoland?" From Chicago. He played 1 year ball at Hinsdale.
Yeah, we claim him like I keep telling you, man. Like it's a serious thing, but certain dudes get passes. Certain dudes, you'd be like, all right, no, we got him. He over here. He come with us. D-Wade was an exception. He was like, all right, Robin's cool, but Chicago, we'll claim that. We'll roll with that, bro. Like, yeah, certain dudes get passes, man.
People in the comments excited. Anthony, our guy, saying, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." 30-point burger tonight for Matas. Let's go. Justin Johnson, haven't been this excited for a Bulls game in a minute. Thank you, Matas. I am also excited. Like, again, it's been hard to find things to be excited about this season. If you're a Bulls fan who knows what's what and knows the slog we were going through.
Yeah.
And obviously tomorrow was going to be a huge benchmark of what they've done with their first, 50 or so games, whether or not certain pieces were still here and what the plan is for the back 30 games and beyond. It's a hard kind of season to endure as a fan, and you need to look and grasp at those things. Whether you're a fan or a reporter, like, what's going to captivate my attention tonight?
Yeah.
Which player or what storyline or what matchup am I going to be focusing on as a fan tonight, writing about as a reporter tonight? Like, it's been tough to do that this season as Bulls fans. Matas is like that one tiny little lifesaver in the biggest, scariest ocean of Bulls fandom.
He's Wilson on the island. For Tom Hanks. He's Wilson, dog. Yeah, and you having to actually sit there and cover it. You know what I mean? So and then have to write about it and talk about it. So it's like a double and triple whammy for you. And we only know it because, we got Will to go Gottlieb. You know what I mean? We know what he's dealing with the things. So that has to lend the extra level of excitement to your pen and to your actual questions that you get to ask these kind of guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of times, you're watching these games, and although some of them have been really entertaining because it's a different brand of basketball than we've seen them play when they had DeMar DeRozan on this team and you kind of knew how things would shake out. Now it's more of like a three-point variance thing, but it's still some entertainment in that because it's so different than what we're used to. But in the end, these games didn't really mean a whole lot outside of, are Zach and Vooch looking better?
Yeah.
How is Matas looking? How many minutes is he getting? What are rotations looking like? Is Patrick Williams finally stepping into a role?
No.
Long pause.
A bread roll?
To go with the chicken pox.
But no, it's this is what, like I said, man, this is what Bulls fans, this is kind of the only thing we are holding on to right now as fans, as reporters, observers of the game, whatever it may be, until we know for sure what direction this thing is going to go in. It's still up in the air until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. We don't know. Everybody keeps saying, some people keep saying that the team is rebuilding, gutting the roster.
Yeah.
We have yet to see that. We'll see.
You're right.
We'll see.
Please do something.
Do something. And guy, I'm trying to say you real quick, but Katie wants more likes.
Katie would like more likes.
She wants more likes.
Katie likes the likes.
I'm trying to keep her.
Also, for those of you who were here with us in postgame last night, you saw the magic that happens when we get a certain amount of likes.
Katie sang last night.
We finally got Katie to sing the Empire jingle. Yeah.
175 people watching.
Then
45 likes.
Then she lied
What's happening?
to our viewers and
Matt,
said if we got
you
to
know
300
what?
likes, I would twerk on camera. No one wants to see that, A. And B, don't put words in my mouth.
I disagree. The believer in the comments says, I came to give him a like and hope to see Matt twerk.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
It's a movement. We started
It's
a movement.
It's a movement. You sit on the throne of lies. It's a movement.
Move my way to the hospital.
Wait, Matt. If Matas goes for another 24, what do you think? What do you think?
Could it be something that's not twerk? I am not a twerker.
Okay.
I don't know how twerking works.
You could do a different dance of our choosing. How's that?
I'm just going to blindly go with of your choosing without any other specification
What about
on that.
the Carlton? Would you do that?
I mean, I do a bastardized version of it, probably.
Steaky leg?
Okay,
No.
slow down. Slow down.
I don't think
down.
I am a
Slow
person
down.
to pull that off.
Yeah. Well, mine singing a Peck percolate. But yeah, slow down. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah. It would be pretty
Peck
awesome.
percolate.
But anyway, hit the like button.
You got to do something. We'll see if you do something. Quote something from Shakespeare.
Sure.
Why?
Yeah, because that's a real crowd pleaser among sports fans.
Yeah. Oh man, what? That's what they tuned in for.
So as far as tonight goes, obviously Ant is number one on the scattering report for this Bulls defense that has been, let's say, shall we say, challenged this season. Anthony Edwards did get his third All-Star nod of his career when they announced those Western reserves. He did not get a starting spot. You could make an argument that he deserved statistically to be there over Steph.
Yeah.
And then obviously SGA getting the other starting guard spot. I mean, Ant's doing Ant things, 44.5 from the field, 42% from three, like 26.5 per game. It's all-star stuff. Yeah. And you kind of are a little bit afraid that might be even in for a bigger workload from Ant tonight because Julius Randle's out. He's trying to make his way back, still dealing with that groin strain. DiVincenzo also out tonight, by the way. So like we could be seeing like a fewer hands on deck. I'm gonna just go drop 40 or 50 kind of Ant tonight.
Yeah, he's special, man. Like, he's just a joy to watch, and that's what makes this exciting when you know Matas is going to be playing because you are already coming in excited to watch a guy like Anthony Edwards do his thing. And now I'm like, I get to watch my guy play against him too. This would be cool. We know who's going to win that battle, but still, it's just fun to watch. But Ant, man, like, you love to see a guy, as we just talked about with Matas, who speaks it but also walks it. You know what I mean? Like, as I tell Matt a million times, like, saying ain't like doing. You know what I mean? And you watch an Ant, and he does it. Like, he'll tell you about it, and then he goes out and does it. his 3-point shooting isn't talked about enough for me. Like, I know he's high flying. Like, he does those things. But, man, he will start the game shooting threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just pulling that trigger on cats. And he looks really, really great doing it, man. Like, he's one of my favorite players to watch.
Different element of his game. He's shooting, double digits in attempts?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man, the way that he's playing it this year. I don't know if he's like on the Ja Morant kick where he's trying not to get to the rim so much and try to save his body for later on. But
that could be the case.
Another potential face of the league moving forward.
Yes.
I would love to see him in a dunk contest. I know it's not going to happen. But,
yeah.
Man, he's a pleasure to watch, man. And like you said, he'll talk it, he'll walk it, and he'll let you know about it.
Yeah, yes.
It should be a good game.
He's one of, was it, were we at a Bulls-Wolves game?
Yes, we were.
Like last season,
No, season before.
When Ant just went, woo.
It was like his rookie year.
Yeah.
And Matt and I were watching. Actually, that was the night, Katie, I won Goon of the Night. Because I was yelling at Patrick Williams the entire game, just positive affirmations, and he stopped and turned around like, "Who the hell is this dude yelling at me?" And I was like, "It's me. I'm yelling at you."
This is why.
And he balled out. And he balled out.
This is why Pat's having the season he's having, is because Eversley didn't follow through. We talked to Eversley at Bulls Summerfest.
Yep.
And he was like, "Okay, we're gonna bring you on board."
The positive
official
liaison.
Official role title, positive affirmation
whisperer.
liaison.
Yes.
PAL for short.
PAL. Yes.
And Big Dave's just gonna yell nice, positive things, encouraging things to Pat.
But yelling.
From courtside.
Yes.
What happened, Mark?
What happened?
What happened to that deal, Mark?
What happened? Man, he could be out there starting still, sir. But at that game, it was great. I think it went into overtime as well. But at that game, we got to watch that dude up close. My God, dog. Like, he was faster than everybody and shooting everything. But also, even as a rookie, you're watching him take over the team because he's yelling at Cat. Like, he's yelling at him, cursing at him, dog. Like, all them dudes. And I'm like, yo, man, how he doing this already as a rookie and it being allowed? He's like, well, nobody's going to stop him. Nobody's going to tell him he can't do it. So,
guys just built like that.
Exactly, man.
Built differently.
Some dudes are just built like that. Exactly. And he is one of those dudes that is built like that. And yeah, he's a pleasure to watch. And seeing it up close just made it even more of a reality.
Yeah, it's Anthony Edwards is amazing, man.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. I feel bad for Timberwolves fans that they made that trade, considering how deep they got in the playoffs and what that team looked like. But the tax.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
It was a pretty shocking trade. A lot of people were surprised that they made that move.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, I might like this trade for the Wolves more than the Knicks.
I agreed with Matt.
But they're figuring that out
Not
in New
working
York.
out.
And I mean, in Minnesota, you almost feel bad for them and all of these other teams in the West that are good, but it's the West. So coming into tonight, they've lost 2. They have a bad loss to the Wizards. They're the team that let the Wizards end their 16-game losing streak.
They did.
And then at the game after that, 2 nights later, they got King in the fourth by DeMar and lost to the Kings by 2. So they're 6-4 in their last 10, but 2 games coming into this one, and they are 7th in the West, despite being 4 games over 500. Like, just like that. That play-in tournament in the West is going to be a bloodbath. You would assume that Wolves will be trying to get up to that 6th, like all of the other teams in and around them. So they're probably licking their lips saying, hey, this Bulls team, this is a dub tonight. This is a dub we need. This is a dub we're going to get.
Yeah.
Watch out, though.
Watch out.
Matas might drop 40 on y'all.
He might. It might happen, dog. He won't miss a shot.
This is the second of the 2 meetings between the interconference teams, by the way. Wolves won 135-119 in Chicago back in early November. In case you forgot that one, Bulls were up 9.5. Bulls are up 5 going to the fourth. Wolves won the fourth quarter 45-24.
Yeah, they did.
Ant in that one, 33-8-6.
Oh,
also, there was no Zach LaVine. That was one of the very few games this season that Zach missed. So Bulls were led by Vooch, who had 25, Coby, who had 24. Matas, I believe, only played 17 minutes in that game, which for early November was like, oh, my God, we got 17 Matas minutes. Double it tonight, Billy. Or we riot. That's going to do it for pregame. Shout out to our guy, Drew Stevens from the Bigs. Follow him. Follow the Bigs. They do great work covering not only the Bulls, but sports all across the city of Chicago. He's going to hang out, watch this game with us here, and he will be right back in that chair for postgame. Shout out to Katie, always on the controls. Hit the like button on your way out for her on National Girl and Women's in Sports Day. And we'll see y'all for postgame. See you, Robbie Good.
Peace and love, y'all.
Make a trade, AK.
Do stuff.
We all silly like the mayor.